Ladies and gentlemen, listen up. 2025 is not the year to play small. This is the year where you either step up or you get left behind. It's the year where you either do or die. Not literally, but mentally. Because the people who make it in life, in business, in relationships, in health, are the ones who burn the bridges behind them. They remove the option to retreat. They commit, they execute, and they refuse to quit. Most people are living with a backup plan mentality, a safety net, an excuse to fall back on, and that's exactly why they never get what they want. They start something, but the moment it gets tough, they tell themselves, it's okay, I'll just try again later. No, later is a lie. Later is the death of your dreams. If you don't lock in and go all in right now, another year will pass and you'll be stuck in the same spot. So here's the truth. Success, real success, is not for the weak. It's not for the ones who dabble, who kind of want it, who wish and hope. It's for the obsessed. The ones who say, I don't care how hard it gets, I'm going to find a way. It's for the ones who wake up with fire in their gut, ready to push through pain, rejection, failure, and doubt. 2025 is about burning the boats. No more playing it safe. No more waiting for the perfect time. No more making excuses. If you want to build that business, go all in. If you want to transform your body, do it now. If you want to change your life, stop hesitating. You're either all in or you're out. There is no middle ground. So the question is, are you going to do or are you going to let this year die like every other year before? Make the decision right now because your future depends on it. Burning the boats means eliminating every possible escape route, every excuse, every fallback option that could allow you to retreat when things get tough. It means making success your only choice. It's about committing so deeply to your vision that failure is not an option because you have nowhere else to go. When you remove the safety net, you force yourself to operate at a level of intensity, urgency, and resourcefulness that most people never tap into. This is where true transformation happens. Most people fail not because they lack talent or intelligence, but because they give themselves too many options. They have a dream, but they also have a backup plan. They want to start a business, but they also keep that comfortable job just in case it doesn't work out. They want to get in the best shape of their life, but they also tell themselves they can always start next month if they slip up. This is why they never truly break through. The moment things get uncomfortable, they fall back into old patterns because they have an escape route. The human mind craves certainty, but the most powerful thing you can do for yourself is create a situation where there is no certainty except for your absolute commitment to making something happen. When the only way forward is through, you start to operate with a different level of focus and energy. Your mind shifts from asking, what if this doesn't work, to how do I make this work no matter what? You stop thinking like an amateur and start thinking like a warrior. Warriors don't have backup plans. Warriors don't hesitate. They step forward with absolute certainty that they will either win or they will find a way. When you look at the people who have changed the world, the ones who have built empires, revolutionized industries, or achieved greatness in any field, they all have one thing in common. They committed fully. They didn't hedge their bets. They didn't have one foot in and one foot out. They put everything on the line because they understood that half measures lead to half. The most successful people are not the ones who play it safe. They are the ones who take massive risks because they believe in their vision so deeply that failure is simply not an option. This mindset is not about recklessness. It's not about making foolish decisions or ignoring potential risks. It's about making a decision so firm that you remove all mental resistance. The moment you give yourself an out, you've already lost. If you tell yourself, I'll try, you're already planning for failure. If you say, I'll give it 6 months and see what happens, you're already giving yourself permission to quit. The people who win are the ones who say, this is happening, period, no matter what. This level of commitment changes the way you show up. When you know there is no way out, you start thinking differently. You start problem solving at a higher level. You tap into creativity, resilience, and resourcefulness that you didn't even know you had. You stop looking for excuses and start looking for solutions. You stop asking if it's possible and start figuring out how to make it possible. When you remove the option to quit, you unlock a level of drive that most people never experience. This is why so many people fail to reach their potential. They never fully commit. They keep one foot in and one foot out, and that hesitation kills their momentum. Imagine trying to run a race while constantly looking back over your shoulder. You'll never reach full speed. But when you commit fully, when you burn the boats, you give yourself no choice but to push forward with everything you have. And that's when breakthroughs happen. History is filled with stories of people who burned the boats and change their lives forever. There's the entrepreneur who quit their comfortable six-figure job to go all in on their business, risking everything and eventually building an empire. There's the athlete who trained relentlessly, cutting out every distraction and excuse, and went on to dominate their sport. There's the artist who left behind a life of security to follow their passion, refusing to settle for anything less than success. The common thread between all of them? They didn't give themselves a way out. They decided that success was not just something they wanted, it was something they had to create no matter what. Most people think they lack motivation when in reality they lack commitment. They wait for the perfect moment to take action, but that moment never comes. The truth is, motivation is fleeting. Some days you'll feel unstoppable, and other days you'll feel like quitting. That's why motivation alone is not enough. What separates the winners from everyone else is that they take action regardless of how they feel. They show up and put in the work even when they don't feel like it because they've made a commitment that is bigger than their emotions. The moment you decide to burn the boats, everything changes. Your energy changes. Your mindset changes. You stop waiting and start doing. You stop hoping and start executing. You stop playing small and start stepping into your true potential. Most people never experience this level of commitment because they are too afraid to take the leap. They hold on to their safety nets, not realizing that those very safety nets are the things keeping them stuck. You have to ask yourself, what is holding you back? What are the boats you need to burn? Are you holding on to a backup plan that is keeping you from going all in? Are you giving yourself too many options instead of making a firm decision? Are you allowing fear to dictate your actions instead of taking control of your destiny? The only way to truly transform your life is to make the decision that failure is not an option. You don't just dip your toes in the water, you dive in head first. You don't just try, you commit. You don't just want it, you demand it from yourself. Most people spend their entire lives waiting for the perfect moment, the right circumstances, or a sign that it's time to take action. But the truth is, the only sign you need is the decision you make today. The moment you commit fully, you create your own momentum. You create your own certainty. You create your own success. The people who succeed are not the ones who wait. They're the ones who decide. Burning the boats is about making a decision so powerful that there is no turning back. It's about stepping into the version of yourself that operates at the highest level. It's about refusing to settle for anything less than what you are truly capable of. Because when you remove the option to fail, the only thing left is success. Later is a lie. It's one of the most dangerous beliefs a person can have because it gives the illusion of progress while keeping you stuck in the same place. It convinces you that you have time, that you can put things off, that you can start tomorrow, next week, or next year. But the truth is, every time you tell yourself later, you are making a decision to stay exactly where you are. You are choosing procrastination over progress, hesitation over action, and comfort over growth. The people who achieve massive success are the ones who understand that there is no perfect time. They don't wait until they feel ready. They don't wait for the right circumstances. They don't wait for permission. They move. They take action now. They don't give themselves an out because they know that waiting is just another form of fear disguised as patience. The mind will always try to trick you into delaying what you know you need to do. It will come up with excuses, rationalizations, and justifications for why now isn't the right time. It will tell you that you need more information, more preparation, more confidence. It will tell you that you'll be better equipped later. But this is a lie because action is what creates confidence, not the other way around. The most successful people don't wait until they feel ready. They act first and figure it out along the way. The moment you start moving, the momentum builds, and suddenly what once seemed impossible becomes achievable. Most people live their lives waiting for the right moment to chase their dreams, waiting for the perfect conditions to start that business, waiting until they feel motivated to get in shape. But the problem with waiting is that it becomes a habit. If you put something off once, it becomes easier to do it again. Before you know it, months have passed, then years, and you're still in the same place, wondering why nothing has changed. The people who win in life understand that later is just an excuse. They know that success doesn't come to those who wait. It comes to those who take immediate, relentless action. The fear of failure is one of the biggest reasons people put things off. They tell themselves they'll start later because they don't want to face the possibility of not succeeding. They think that by waiting, they'll eventually be more prepared, more capable, or more certain of the outcome. But the truth is, failure is a necessary part of success. Every successful person has failed many times. They don't avoid failure. They embrace it because they know that every failure is a lesson, a stepping stone, a necessary part of the journey. The sooner you start, the sooner you learn. And the sooner you learn, the sooner you win. Comfort is another major reason people fall into the trap of later. They don't take action because they are too comfortable where they are. Even if they aren't happy with their current situation, it feels safe, familiar, and predictable. The human brain is wired for survival, and it sees change as a threat. It wants to keep you in your comfort zone because that's where it feels the least amount of risk. But growth never happens in comfort. Every breakthrough, every achievement, every transformation requires stepping into discomfort. It requires doing things before you feel ready, before you feel like you have everything figured out. There will never be a perfect moment to start. There will always be reasons to wait. There will always be distractions, obstacles, and uncertainties. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is that successful people don't let those things stop them. They don't wait for the stars to align. They make the decision to start, despite the uncertainty, despite the fear, despite the imperfections. They take the first step, and then the next, and then the next. Progress is made through consistent, imperfect action, not through waiting for everything to be just right. Most people underestimate how much time they actually have. They think they have forever to accomplish their goals, to chase their dreams, to become the person they were meant to be. But time is the one thing you can never get back. Every second that passes is a second you will never see again. Every day that goes by is one less day you have to create the life you want. The people who truly understand this don't waste time. They don't procrastinate. They operate with urgency because they know that time is their most valuable asset. They understand that the cost of waiting is far greater than the cost of failing. Regret is one of the heaviest burdens a person can carry. The pain of trying and failing is nothing compared to the pain of knowing you never gave yourself a real chance. When you put things off, you are not just delaying action. You are delaying your future, your success, your potential. And one day, if you keep waiting, you'll wake up and realize that the opportunity you had is gone. The chance you had to take that risk, to go after that dream, to change your life, it's no longer there. And the worst part is knowing that it wasn't taken from you. You gave it up. You let it slip away. Not because you weren't capable, but because you convinced yourself that later was an option. The only way to break free from the cycle of waiting is to make a decision. A decision that you will no longer put things off. A decision that you will take action now, no matter how unprepared or uncertain you feel. A decision that you will stop listening to the voice in your head that tells you to wait and start listening to the part of you that knows you were meant for more. Every great success story starts with a moment of decision. A moment where someone decided they were done waiting, done making excuses, done playing small. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that taking action later is a smart choice, that waiting will somehow put you in a better position, that tomorrow, next week, or next year will be easier. But in reality, waiting only makes things harder. The longer you wait, the more fear builds up. The more time passes, the more resistance you create. The more you delay, the more likely you are to never start at all. The only way to make progress is to take action now, no matter how small. The smallest step forward is infinitely more powerful than the best idea that stays stuck in your head. People love to talk about what they're going to do. They make plans, set goals, and get excited about the future. But plans don't create results. Goals don't create change. Action does. The people who succeed are not the ones with the best ideas or the perfect strategy. They are the ones who execute. They don't waste time thinking about what they should do. They just do it. They take messy, imperfect action and figure things out as they go. They understand that clarity comes from action, not from endless planning and overthinking. Most of the time, the difference between those who succeed and those who don't isn't intelligence, talent, or resources. It's urgency. It's the willingness to move forward even when things aren't perfect. It's the discipline to push past discomfort and take action when others hesitate. It's the understanding that the only way to create results is to start now with what you have, where you are. The people who win in life are the ones who recognize that waiting is just another form of fear, and they refuse to let fear control them. Obsession over motivation is the key to real success because motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes like the wind. One day you feel inspired, ready to take on the world, and the next day that fire is gone. This is the cycle most people live in. They wait for motivation to strike before they take action. They rely on a feeling to determine whether or not they will do what needs to be done. But the problem is motivation is unreliable. It's a fair weather friend. It's there when things are easy, but the moment challenges arise, it disappears. That's why the people who win in life are not the ones who are motivated. They are the ones who are obsessed. Obsession is different. Obsession is deeper. Obsession is when you wake up thinking about your goal, spend all day executing on it, and go to bed still thinking about how to improve. It's when your dream is not just something you wish for, it's something that consumes you. It's something that is part of your identity. It's a fire that burns inside you that cannot be put out by discomfort, setbacks, or external circumstances. When you are obsessed, you don't need motivation because your drive comes from within. It's not about feeling like doing something. It's about knowing that it must be done no matter what. Most people are not obsessed. They are interested. They like the idea of success, but they don't love the process. They want the rewards, but they don't want the sacrifice. They want the outcome, but they aren't willing to put in the work when no one is watching. That's the difference between those who achieve greatness and those who stay average. The ones who succeed don't rely on motivation to get them going. They are willing to suffer for their dream. They are willing to do the boring, repetitive, painful work every single day because their vision is bigger than their excuses. Obsession means doing it anyway, even when you don't feel like it. It means showing up and putting in the work, even when you're tired, even when you're frustrated, even when it feels like nothing is working. Most people quit the moment things become difficult because they never committed in the first place. They were motivated, but they weren't obsessed. They were excited when it was new, but the moment the grind set in, they looked for an excuse to stop. Obsession doesn't allow you to stop. It doesn't give you an out. It doesn't let you off the hook. It pushes you forward when everything in you wants to slow down. The greatest athletes, the most successful entrepreneurs, the top performers in every field, none of them got there by being motivated. They got there by being obsessed. They trained when no one else was training. They studied when everyone else was relaxing. They stayed up late perfecting their craft. They woke up early to get an edge. They didn't count the hours. They didn't check the clock. They didn't complain about how hard it was. They were locked in, focused, relentless. While others were distracted, they were improving. While others were making excuses, they were executing. That's what separates the elite from the average. Obsession is what makes you unstoppable. It turns obstacles into stepping stones. It makes failure irrelevant because failure is just part of the process. When you are obsessed, you don't see setbacks as reasons to quit. You see them as fuel. You take every loss, every rejection, every painful lesson, and you use it to get better. You don't dwell in the past. You don't waste time feeling sorry for yourself. You adjust, you learn, and you keep moving forward. People who rely on motivation crumble when they hit adversity. People who are obsessed don't even slow down. Obsession creates an identity shift. When you are obsessed with your goal, it's not just something you do, it's who you are. It's not something you turn on and off depending on how you feel. It's a permanent state of being. You don't think about whether or not you're going to show up. You don't debate whether or not you're going to put in the work. You just do it because that's what you do. That's who you are. It's in your DNA. The moment you stop identifying as someone who is trying and start identifying as someone who is already that thing, everything changes. Most people never reach this level because they let distractions pull them away. They let comfort seduce them. They listen to the opinions of people who don't have what they want. They entertain doubts instead of shutting them down. They let small failures shake their confidence instead of using them as stepping stones. They give themselves too many options. When you are obsessed, there are no other options. There is no plan B. There is no backup plan. There is no thinking about what happens if it doesn't work. It will work because you will make it work. That's the mindset of someone who is truly obsessed. People will call you crazy when you are obsessed. They will tell you that you're doing too much, that you need to slow down, that you need to have balance. They will tell you to take a break, to enjoy life, to stop being so extreme. But what they don't understand is that greatness requires extreme effort. It requires an obsession that most people are not willing to commit to. The people who tell you to slow down are the ones who have settled for mediocrity. They don't understand what it takes because they have never pushed themselves to that level. They don't realize that the very thing they see as excessive is the thing that separates the best from the rest. Obsession is the cure for excuses. When you are obsessed, you don't make excuses because nothing is more important than your goal. You don't let distractions pull you off course. You don't let temporary discomfort stop you from moving forward. You don't need motivation because your purpose is bigger than your feelings. You don't negotiate with yourself. You don't look for ways to make things easier. You look for ways to get better. You look for ways to go harder. You look for ways to push yourself past limits that other people accept as reality. The biggest mistake people make is thinking that success comes from short bursts of effort. They get excited, they go all in for a few weeks, and then they burn out because they were never obsessed in the first place. They were hyped up, but they weren't committed. Real success is not about how hard you go when you feel like it. It's about how relentless you are when you don't. It's about what you do when no one is watching, when no one is cheering for you, when no one believes in you except for yourself. It's about consistency over time, discipline over comfort, and obsession over motivation. Most people don't fail because they aren't capable. They fail because they never commit at a deep enough level. They dabble instead of going all in. They let themselves off the hook when things get tough. They allow their emotions to dictate their actions instead of taking control. The people who succeed are not the ones who have the most talent, the most resources, or the best circumstances. They are the ones who refuse to stop. They are the ones who show up day after day, no matter how they feel. They are the ones who push through pain, doubt, and failure because they are obsessed with their vision. Obsession is the ultimate key. It is the difference between those who dream and those who achieve. It is the fuel that keeps you going long after motivation has disappeared. It is the mindset that turns ordinary people into extraordinary achievers. It is the force that drives you to do whatever it takes for as long as it takes until you get what you came for. Pain is the greatest motivator. Most people spend their lives trying to avoid it, running from discomfort, seeking out the easiest path, but that mindset keeps them stuck. Pain is not your enemy. It is your greatest teacher, your most powerful ally. It is the thing that will push you further than you ever thought possible if you let it. The problem is most people don't. They resist it. They complain about it. They try to numb it, escape it, do anything but face it head on. But the ones who achieve greatness are the ones who embrace pain. They lean into it, knowing that on the other side of that discomfort is the version of themselves they were meant to become. Most people misunderstand pain. They think it's a signal to stop, a sign that they're on the wrong path, that something is wrong. But pain is often the exact opposite. It's a sign that you are growing, that you are pushing beyond your current limits, that you are breaking through to something new. Growth and comfort cannot exist in the same place. The people who stay comfortable stay the same. The people who are willing to endure pain evolve, transform, become unrecognizable from who they once were. Pain is the price of progress, and those who refuse to pay that price remain trapped in the life they've always known, unable to reach the life they truly want. Pain reveals who you really are. When things are easy, when there are no challenges, no struggles, no obstacles, it's simple to feel confident, to feel strong, to feel like you have everything under control. But when the pressure is on, when life hits you with setbacks, failures, betrayals, loss, that is when your true character is exposed. Do you crumble? Do you retreat? Do you make excuses? Or do you rise? Do you take the hit and keep moving forward? Do you use the pain as fuel to become even stronger? The people who win in life are the ones who use every ounce of pain they experience as an opportunity to grow, to level up, to sharpen themselves into something greater. No matter what you do, no matter how much you try to control your circumstances, you will experience pain. The difference is some people choose their pain while others have it forced upon them. If you choose to stay in your comfort zone, to take the easy route, to avoid challenges, you will experience the pain of regret, the pain of stagnation, the pain of watching others pass you by while you stay stuck. But if you choose to push yourself, to go through the struggle, to embrace the discomfort, you will experience the pain of discipline, the pain of effort, the pain of growth. And while both paths involve pain, only one leads to strength, success, and fulfillment. Pain is temporary, but quitting is permanent. In the moment, pain feels overwhelming, like it will never end. But the truth is, no pain lasts forever. The struggle you are going through right now will pass. The exhaustion you feel, the frustration, the doubts, the setbacks, they are all temporary. But if you quit, if you give up, if you decide the pain is too much and you walk away, that decision lasts forever. The pain of failure is nothing compared to the pain of knowing you could have kept going but didn't. The people who succeed are the ones who understand this. They endure because they know that every moment of pain is an investment in their future, that every ounce of struggle is shaping them into something stronger. Most people think pain is their enemy, but it is actually their greatest source of power. It is in the moments of greatest struggle that people find out what they are truly capable of. It is in the darkest times, when everything seems impossible, that the strongest versions of people are created. When you push yourself past what you thought was your limit, you unlock something inside you that you never knew existed. You develop a level of resilience, a level of grit, a level of mental toughness that most people will never experience because they never allow themselves to go through the fire. They avoid it, they run from it, but those who are willing to embrace it come out the other side unbreakable. Pain is the key to transformation. The reason so many people never change, never grow, never become what they were meant to be is because they refuse to go through the painful process of evolution. They want the results, but they don't want the struggle. They want the rewards, but they don't want to suffer for them. But every great success story is built on a foundation of pain. The athlete who trains for hours while their body screams in exhaustion, the entrepreneur who works through failure after failure, rejection after rejection, the artist who pours everything they have into their craft, despite the self-doubt, the criticism, the obstacles. The only way to evolve into the person you are meant to be is to be willing to endure the pain that comes with that transformation. There is no easy way. There is no shortcut. There is no way around pain. If you want to achieve anything great, you have to go through it. You have to be willing to suffer. You have to be willing to wake up early when you don't feel like it, to work when you are exhausted, to push yourself when every part of you wants to stop. The people who succeed are not the ones who have the easiest path. They are the ones who have the most relentless mindset. They are the ones who take the pain, take the hardship, take the struggle, and keep going anyway. They refuse to quit. They refuse to break. They refuse to let pain control them. Instead, they control the pain. They use it. They transform it into strength. Pain is a test. It asks you a simple question. How bad do you really want it? Anyone can say they want success. Anyone can say they want to be great. But when the pain comes, when things get hard, when progress slows down, that is when the truth is revealed. Do you actually want it, or do you just like the idea of it? Do you have the grit to push through, or are you looking for a way out? The people who reach the top are not the ones who never experience pain. They are the ones who welcome it, who face it head on, who refuse to let it stop them, because they know that pain is not something to fear. It is something to master. Pain is the entry fee for success. The greater the goal, the greater the pain required to reach it. If your goal is small, your pain will be small. But if you want something truly extraordinary, if you want to become something that few people ever become, then you have to be willing to endure what few people are willing to endure. Most people give up before they even get close. They hit a wall and assume that means they should stop. But the truth is, the pain is the doorway. It is the test that separates those who say they want it from those who actually do. The moment you decide that you will not let pain dictate your actions, that you will push through no matter what, that is the moment you become unstoppable. People who run from pain never experience their true potential. They never know what they could have been because they never pushed themselves far enough to find out. The human mind and body are capable of far more than most people ever realize. But the only way to access that potential is to go through pain, to embrace it, to understand that every difficult moment, every failure, every setback is an opportunity to grow stronger. Pain is not your enemy. It is your greatest weapon, your greatest teacher, your greatest advantage if you are willing to use it. The power of absolute commitment is what separates those who achieve from those who dream. Most people think they are committed, but they are only interested. They say they want success, but when obstacles appear, when things get uncomfortable, when the journey becomes difficult, they hesitate. They second-guess themselves. They look for an easier way, a backup plan, an escape route. That is not commitment. That is convenience. True commitment means eliminating every other option. It means burning the boats, cutting off any possibility of retreat, deciding that no matter what happens, no matter how long it takes, no matter how many setbacks come, you will not stop until you achieve your goal. Most people give themselves too many outs. They say they are committed, but in the back of their mind, they have an exit strategy. They are prepared to quit if it gets too hard, if it takes too long, if they don't see results fast enough. But commitment means removing that option entirely. It means making a decision so strong, so absolute, that failure is no longer even a consideration. It is not about trying. It is about doing, no matter what. That is the level of commitment required to reach the highest level in anything. Because every journey gets hard. Every goal worth achieving will test you. If quitting is an option, at some point you will take it. If it is not an option, you will find a way. Commitment is about action, not words. Everyone says they want success. Everyone talks about their goals, but talk is cheap. Words don't build businesses. Words don't create champions. Words don't lead to breakthroughs. Only action does. Every single day, you are either moving closer to your goal or further away from it. There is no in between. There is no neutral. If you are not actively working on what you want, you are passively choosing to let it slip away. The people who succeed are the ones who show up day after day, even when they don't feel like it, even when they don't see immediate progress, even when everything around them tells them to stop. Most people fail because they treat commitment like a feeling. They think they need to feel motivated, inspired, excited to take action. But true commitment is not based on feelings. It is based on discipline. It is based on the decision to do what needs to be done, regardless of how you feel. Feelings are unreliable. Some days you will feel unstoppable. Other days you will feel exhausted, frustrated, defeated. If your actions are dictated by your emotions, you will never be consistent. And if you are not consistent, you will never succeed. The ones who win are the ones who train themselves to take action no matter what, who make their commitment stronger than their emotions. There is a reason so few people truly succeed at the highest level. It is not because they are more talented, more intelligent, or more fortunate. It is because they are more committed. They are willing to endure the sacrifices that others won't. They are willing to do the work that others avoid. They are willing to push themselves to a level of discipline and consistency that most people are unwilling to maintain. That is why they achieve things that most people never will. They do not rely on external motivation. They do not wait for the perfect conditions. They do not need permission. They make the decision once and never look back.